Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Thursday, August 8th, 2013. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's jump right into the charts. We're going to start off with the S&P 500 E-mini futures, and what you'll see here is that the futures are actually trading higher today. First time in 3 days that the futures are catching a bid, but they're up 5.5 points to 1693.75 per contract. So a decent little pop ahead of the opening bell for the overall stock market indexes. Now, there's still been a host of earnings coming out each and every day. The markets, for the most part, even though I think earnings have been pretty dire and terrible this quarter, have really held up. Most companies have missed on revenues, but they beat on earnings per share, and that seems to be all the market cares about. The market also cares about the easy money policies by the central banks, and that's still very much intact at the moment as well. But when we look at the charts, today the futures are up, and we have to respect it. Go across the pond in Europe today. All the European markets are catching a bid. German DAX is up about 0.8%, and that seems to be beneficial to the major stock indexes, at least at the moment. The problems that I see for the overall markets right now are not so much with Europe as they are with Asia. Right now you have that dollar-yen trade. As long as dollar-yen goes up, everything is fine. But if the dollar-yen goes down, which you could see it has been, that's where the problems come in. Let's just take a look at a 10-minute chart here. This is live time, and you'll see dollar-yen is starting to falter. So that tells me that the futures could start to falter. Now, the trading volume has been very, very light. That's supportive of higher prices in the stock market. So when you're looking at the S&P, when you get to that light volume part of the day, you'll notice that the stock market floats higher because there's really no selling pressure in the marketplace. But if the dollar-yen goes lower, that means the yen strengthening against the dollar. When this goes down, that will hurt the markets overall. So you got to watch for that, at least in the near term. When I look at the bond market today, we have the 10-year U.S. Treasury yield really right around 2.61%. There's really no change there, so we have to watch that pretty closely. But the most important thing you can watch right now, in my opinion, is still this chart right here. Okay, so yes, you definitely want to watch the yield chart, but the yield chart is playing second fiddle right now to the dollar-yen chart, and those two switch between first place and second place of which chart is more important. That moves the market, and right now it's still dollar-yen as far as I'm concerned. Now, if yields really spike significantly, that may take over as leadership and the most important chart out there. But right now, it still is the dollar-yen chart. Last night in the Japanese market, if you take a look here at a daily chart, what you're going to see is the Nikkei 225 index finished lower again last night. So right now, we're looking at a pretty good 3-day decline in the Nikkei. Last night, 2 nights ago, it was 4%. Last night, it was, I believe, 1.6%. So that's a pretty nasty sell-off for the most part, and we'll have to watch how that plays out going forward. But right now, keep an eye on that Nikkei 225 index. That's going to be your most important chart to give you any sort of gauge. Looking at, let me just see here. Yeah, actually, the Shanghai Composite last night was not a pretty picture either. That was down about 1.88%. So again, China coming under some pretty heavy distribution last night. If this is right, I'm not showing it updated on my chart here, but I am showing that the Shanghai Composite was down 1.88%. Oh no, I'm sorry, it was not. The Shanghai Composite was flat last night. Okay, so I take that back. No problems in China. Problems are strictly in Japan at the moment. Let's take a look at a few other things here. Let's go to the gold market. This morning, gold is trading a little higher. It's trading up about 6 points to around 1291 and change. Let's take a look at the GLD this morning. So the GLD has been a little bit on the weaker side as of late, but today you're getting a little bit of a bid, trading right underneath the 125 level. So gold seems to be holding steady today. Markets are inflating. Gold is getting a little bit of an inflationary pop, so that is holding up at the moment. When we look at the oil markets today, you're going to see that light sweet crude is trading down about 50 cents to 103.87 a barrel. Let's take a look at the all-important USO, which is a good proxy for oil. You'll see that's trading at around $36.90 ahead of the opening bell. So We'll see how this all plays out, but right now oil is a little bit on the weaker side. Gold is a little bit on the stronger side, and that's really all we can make out of it. We do have a lot of earnings out here. One stock that is getting a bid today is GRPN, Groupon. Groupon with a pretty nice pop. I think this is a hard stock for me to find a resistance level. I'm going to go out on a limb, though, and say around 1150 should be very, very good resistance if it gets up there. But it was a tough stock to find a gap level for. We will have about 4 or 5 gap plays posted in the chat room at 9 a.m. So if you want the gap plays, come over to the chat room. They'll be posted in about 25 minutes. Big move last night in Tesla. Again, company reporting a better earnings per share. Revenue's not so hot, but either way, this is a pretty big pop for Tesla after earnings. And that's one thing about earnings. You just never know what a stock is going to do. And Tesla getting a big soaring move after earnings. So that's Elon Musk's company. But Solar City, which is Elon Musk's other company, not doing so well this morning. Stock closed at $42.50. Solar City now trading at around $39.35. We got some other solar plays in the works. It looks like Elizabeth Arden, I think the ticker symbol is RDEN. This one's also getting hammered today. So we're going to have a lot of gap plays out here. They'll be posted up in the chat room at 9 a.m. So if anybody is interested in the gap plays, come on over. As far as economic news, the big economic news was already released. That was weekly initial jobless claims. So again, we really don't even care what the number is or what they say. Really all we care about is that how the market reacts. So again, I believe the weekly claims rose to 333,000 claims. But really the truth of the matter is when it comes to the markets, we just care about the reaction. We could care less about what the news says or what they report. We just care about how the market reacts off of the news. Okay, so with that said, everybody, I want to wish you all a great trading day. We'll see how this market plays out a little bit later, but you should get at least good volatility, good action, and we'll see how the market shapes out throughout the morning session when we have the highest volume. Again, volume this week has been dying out in the afternoon session, so it becomes a little bit tougher. You got to take advantage of the morning hours if you're a day trader. With that said, everybody, I want to wish you all a great afternoon, great morning, and we'll see you on the charts.